In today's video, I want to talk about buckets again. If you haven't seen my last video about buckets, I talk about the differences and the benefits and features of a $5, $12, and a $40 bucket, and I go way more depth than just looks. I actually have reasons why you should buy one or the other. So check it out. I'll also link it in the description below. So I want to show you what Costco just put out for this month, a deal on buckets for your multi-wash bucket method. Now over here I have our tried and true Home Depot or even a Lowe's bucket that goes for $5 a bucket on average. Whereas in today's availability is the Costco 3-pack buckets for $9.99. So why is that good? Let's talk about that. I haven't even opened it yet or really give it a whole lot of thought. And I want to find out with you right now, I haven't tried it yet, how Guardz fit in this new Costco bucket. So here I have your standard, I believe this is, a no-name, everyday grit guard that you can get on Amazon or in Adams or Chemical Guys. This particular one that I happen to love and only use is by Detail Guards, I believe. And I'll kind of go into the reasons why I happen to do or use this one more often, pretty much exclusively, honestly, with my car washing method. So let's get right into it and just open up. And I say open up very loosely is because in this 3-pack package of buckets from Costco, they zip tie all the handles. So we have a 3-pack. Let's cut that off and let's look into the Costco 3-pack for $9.99, which number one, I think is a great value for 3 buckets, especially for those who need a bucket for your soapy water, your clear water bucket, and also a tire and wheel bucket. So having 3 buckets is actually a good thing if that's the way you wash your vehicles. So I'm gonna take one out, I'll just put these to the side. So you do get 3 for $10, which I think overall is it a great value. Now, I'm going to assume that based on the advertisements and what it says here on the side that this is a 5-gallon bucket, I'm not going to measure water for this. You can see that it is exactly the same height as our Home Depot bucket. That is a typical 5-gallon bucket. The opening of the bucket here, let's see if it matches the Home Depot bucket, and it does. It's basically a perfect match in terms of the size of the mouth. Out of curiosity, let's look at the bottom. And the bottom and the overall feel without measuring it, we're not going to here to be scientific, is the same, I guess, diameter of the bucket at its base. Now in terms of weight, about the same. One isn't heavier or lighter than the other. That's not going to make a difference. The position of the handles are exactly the same, as well as the handle cover, this little piece of plastic here. They are exactly the same. The only very minor difference is that the Home Depot bucket, the handle, has a sheen to it, whereas the Costco one is matte. Now, from appearance perspective, you're probably not going to notice it. Most people probably wouldn't. From what I can feel, the more matte finish feels a little more grippy and less slippery than the Home Depot if your hands are wet. I don't think that's going to make much of a difference. The shape of the metal is exactly the same. And what else is different? The only major difference here, because all these ridges seem to be almost like from the same mold actually, the feel, the distance between every single ridge here are exactly the same. So the Costco one is probably made from a similar mold. I would say the main difference between a Costco bucket for $9.99 for 3 and our Home Depot bucket for averaging $5 a bucket is this handle actually, which is really, really nice. This handle on the Costco bucket gives you something to grip, somewhere to stick your fingers to pick it up. Now, that makes it a whole lot easier to pick up. Whereas a Home Depot bucket, there's really nowhere to put your fingers except in this very minor lip, which I explained in my other video comparing buckets, but here you go. There's not a whole lot of space to stick your fingers. It's very much uncomfortable to do this, especially we all know that water gets really heavy with volume. Now, with the Costco bucket, there's a whole big spot here in this handle on both sides to pick it up. So, big win on Costco for that. That's like, besides price, whereas price is still great for this Costco bucket, this handle is top notch. I like this a lot when it comes to an inexpensive bucket. On the bottom, oh, by the way, if it matters to you, both of these buckets are made in the USA. It does say it here on the Home Depot bucket in small lettering over on the side. If this matters to you, it is stamped and embossed really large on the Costco bucket. It says made in the USA. They are both recyclable and they both have that HDPE marking on the bottom, number 2, so you know what type of recycling it is. The other kind of nice difference, I'm not sure if this is going to make a difference in your everyday use, is that when you look at the Home Depot bucket, the side comes straight down and then you have the edge of the bucket here which rests on the ground, right? Very straight. I see no reason why that's a good, bad thing or indifferent thing. You can see that this bucket is a few years old. Over time, if you can tell with the light, the plastic has rippled, right? Or has gone wavy. I'm sure that's due to heat, cold, and just overall use of the bucket. Now, comparing that to the Home Depot bucket, I think this is really interesting when you see the bottom of this, is that, well, keep in mind it's brand new, and take a look at the bottom. It has all these supports and extra round circles that fall into this like almost wagon wheel. That's going to, in my mind, support weight better than a standard Home Depot bucket. And again, for stylistically, you can see here that the bucket curves down and then it comes to its platform to hold weight. So it has this nice little curve. So I think aesthetically, it's nicer looking. And I think over time, this is going to handle weight better because of all this extra support throughout. Now, those are the main differences between this Home Depot and the Costco bucket. Overall, they're both essentially the same. You're going to get better value from the Costco bucket based on price, 3 for $10. The extra support or places to hold the bucket, which I absolutely love. This is, I think, a game changer. Whether you know it or not, this makes a difference when you're using the bucket. And I think over time, this extra support on the bottom is going to make a difference in longevity and how it holds weight. Now, as I said before, I want to see how do grit guards fit in this, because I'm not sure just based on looking down into the bucket, how they're going to fit well. So let's go with the most basic one first, that I think everyone has used, might still be using, is very easily obtainable. You can get these at Harbor Freight or a variant thereof. Real basic grit guard. It keeps your mitt or washing method, the towel, up off the bottom of the bucket, and it creates that separation from the dirty, gritty water from your cleaner water up top, right? I think this does at best, marginal job at that. So let's put this into the Home Depot bucket. I really should just make a whole video just on grit guards because I'm very particular. And I only do a 1 bucket method when I wash cars, so I'll talk to you more about that on another video. All right, so on the Home Depot bucket, we're gonna drop this basic one in, and if I can do it with you like this, we'll do it together, and it slides in perfect. It goes in, you know, with a little bit of effort to the bottom of the bucket, and it stays at the bottom of the bucket. So that's a good thing. Yeah, it works. This standard grit guard fits into a Home Depot bucket. Now let's check out if this grit guard will fit in our Costco bucket. Put that right in, and the answer is yes. It goes in without, it didn't require any force to push it down, but because it didn't require any force, it falls right out. Now, I don't think that's much of a concern in general, because you're gonna have water in there, you're gonna have your wash media in there. So this works just fine. It fits a standard grit guard perfectly, not an issue. Okay, so now let's go over to the, what do they call it? I think this is by the Detail Guardz. This one is much more expensive than what I showed you earlier. I'll do a video on that. It does have features that I particularly love. And let's see if this one fits at the bottom of a Home Depot bucket. Let's go like this, and going straight down, the rubber feet are grabbing, and it doesn't go all the way to the bottom, right? Not quite, I think close enough it goes to the bottom of the bucket. I had to add a little force. It does stay in, keep in mind that the Detail Guardz Dirt Lock does have rubber feet or rubber sides that hold it down. And because I did add a little force to get it as far down as I possibly could, it's actually, a little hard to get out. So it fits kinda with this type of grit guard. Now let's find out if the Costco one will allow this to fit. Because I think overall, the internal shape and overall body is the same. So let's put that in. We're gonna go straight down. We're not gonna put it at an angle. I don't know what you guys do. We're gonna bring that straight down, and I'm starting to feel some resistance. Trying to go straight down as possible. Oh, that's interesting. That's really interesting. It went down a lot nicer, much more smoother, if that's the right word, for this grit guard to the bottom of the Costco bucket. That's a win, I think, compared to this Home Depot bucket. It went in just a little bit of force, and I reached the very bottom of the bucket. And check it out. It does not come out. And to take it out, way less force to pull that out compared to the Home Depot bucket. That's great. That's great. I think this is a really good bucket. If you're okay with all this branding all over the bucket, and I mean, if you're like happy with the Home Depot branding, I'd be shocked if you weren't okay with the Costco bucket branding. I mean, it's on there. It's not coming off. This is a really good bucket. I think between the fact that it has handles, the price point is spectacular when you're going for that 3-bucket dedicated wash process of the soapy water for your shampoo, the clear rinse water if you're doing the 2-bucket, and big believer in a totally separate bucket to do your wheels and tires. This is the way to go. $9.99 for 3. You need to run out to your Costco and pick one of these up. And it fits 2 different styles of grit guards very, very easily, very, very well. So yeah, I think this is a winner as far as buckets go. For budget, I think the way it's been constructed, how it works with grit guards, and I would love to hear what you think so far of my bucket reviews or buckets in general, because it is a major piece of the puzzle when you're cleaning your car and washing your car. And I think Costco is the way to go. If you don't need a $40 bucket. This one is pretty close. I'm not going to say perfect, but it's way better than our $5 Home Depot bucket. If you have any questions about car detailing or the process or what you think about this bucket, or if you have a favorite bucket, I'd love to hear what you think in the comments below. And if you found value in this, I'd appreciate you subscribing, and don't forget to follow me on all my other social media things. They will be on the description. I will see you later on the next video.